Welcome to Swahili Talk Lab, a place where we learn practical Swahili for everyday life. The Swahili Travel Survival Kit, Airport Module, Lesson 1. Darasa la kwanza. Karibu. Picture this. You've just landed at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Kenya, and excitement is bubbling as you step into East Africa for your very first time. The signs around you are in both English and Swahili, and the announcements often switch between the two. So sure, English will get you through, but having a bit of Swahili up your sleeve makes the whole experience smoother and friendlier, and way more fun. So in this lesson, you learn the Swahili words that will help guide you through your airport experience in East Africa. And trust me, these words will quickly become your best travel companions. Why this lesson matters? The airport will be your first experience of the Eastern African culture, and the signs and announcements will be both in English and Swahili. But like I mentioned, knowing some Swahili will help you navigate faster, avoid confusion, and also show respect for the culture. So the goal here is to learn some Swahili for checking in, arrivals, departure, and even baggage. So come along with me and let us dive right into your first airport experience within the East African region. And here we find the checking in area as well as the documents required for this place. So you go to the checking in area that we call eneo la kuingia, in Swahili, eneo la kuingia, and the documents required here are very simple in Swahili. There will be the passport and the ticket, known as pasi or passport, pasi, and tiketi for ticket. Not very different from English, right? So we go to the passport control area, which we call eneo la kudhibitisha cheti cha usafiri. Eneo la kudhibitisha cheti cha usafiri. Eneo, wherever you hear me mention eneo, it is a word for area. So this is the area for checking your passport. Cheti cha usafiri is the passport. So don't be intimidated by the long phrases. You might meet quite a few within this video. So we move on to the security check and screening, which we call ukaguzi wa usalama. Ukaguzi wa usalama. Security screening. If you are connecting flights, you will go to the flight transfers area, which is known as uhamisho wa ndege. Uhamisho wa ndege. Now that we have already checked in, we learn the words that will help you guide your movement around the airport. And the first lesson we learn, or the first area we learn, is the arrivals area, where we all arrive, and it is known as eneo la wanaowasili. I said earlier, eneo is the word for area, but wanaowasili is arrivals. So arrivals is eneo la wanaowasili. If you are heading out, you will go to the departures area, and adding on eneo again, we call it eneo la kuondoka. Eneo la kuondoka. Kuondoka is departing. If, on the other hand, you need a breather, Maybe you're waiting for your connecting flight, you're waiting for someone, or you just need to rest. You can find the very many lounges within the airport, and we call this chumba cha kusubiri. Chumba cha kusubiri or chumba cha mapumziko. Chumba cha mapumziko. Kusubiri is waiting. Mapumziko is resting. So it can be one or the other. Now that we have accessed different areas within the airport, you need to access some services. And maybe you're hungry, you need a bite to eat. There are so many cafes and hotels at the airport, and you can find yourself hoteli. In Swahili, we call it hoteli, which is the word for hotel. Sounds just like English, right? So it's not hard. Or on the other hand, you might need to exchange your currency to a local currency, be it Kenya or whatever Eastern African country you are in. And you find the currency exchange bureaus that are available. And we call this ofisi ya kubadilisha fedha. Ofisi ya kubadilisha fedha, or the currency exchange bureau. Or you can simply find a bank, which is known as benki in Swahili. Benki for bank, another word drawn from an English word. If you need to find your baggage or luggage, you will head to the baggage hall, which we call ukumbi wa mizigo. Ukumbi wa mizigo, which is the baggage hall. And if you need the customs area, we call that uhamiaji, or if we add the word for area, we call it eneo la uhamiaji. So the immigration area. It is always good to be security aware when you're in whatever area you're in. So, and even in the airport, you'll find well-labeled emergency exits, and we call this mlango wa dharura. Mlango wa dharura. And now, since you're done with the business at the airport and you need to move from the airport to your place of residence or your hotel, you look for the taxi stand, and we call this eneo la taxi. Eneo la taxi. Here's where it gets really exciting. The signs are not the only things in both English and Swahili, so are the announcements. And you can miss the English announcement, so we show you a few words that you can pick out to know what they are talking about. For example, if you hear an announcement saying kuwasili kwa ndege kutoka Doha, kuwasili kwa ndege kutoka Doha. Kuwasili is the general word for arrival. Ndege is the airplane. So whenever you hear the word kuwasili, you know that they're talking about an arrival. Or abiria wanaoondoka na ndege ya kuelekea Frankfurt. Abiria wanaoondoka na ndege ya kuelekea Frankfurt. In this case, abiria means passengers. Wanaoondoka means departing or leaving. Ndege, I said, is the word for plane. So if you hear a combination of these three words, you know that means the plane leaving to ABCD area, in this case, Frankfurt. And you'll know. That means they are calling for whatever plane that is. So something else that is good to know are quick questions that would save your day. Because there are those moments where you feel you really need to ask for directions, help, or just make sure you're in the right place. And if you need to find your way around and you want to access a facility like a toilet facility, you can ask, choo kiko wapi? Choo kiko wapi? Which means, where is the toilet? Or you can ask, after a gate, lango namba 6 liko wapi? Lango namba 6 liko wapi? You're asking, where is gate 6? Or if you can't find the taxi stand and you need clarification of where it is, naweza kupata taxi wapi? Naweza kupata taxi wapi? Where can I get a taxi? If you need to get help, you can ask, naweza kusaidiwa wapi? Naweza kusaidiwa wapi? Where can I get help? Or if you need the currency exchange bureau, naweza kubadilisha fedha wapi? Naweza kubadilisha fedha wapi? Where is the currency exchange office? Or if you need someone who speaks English to make your life much easier, you can ask someone, unaongea Kiingereza? Unaongea Kiingereza? So that is asking, do you speak English? If you want to be sure about the timing of a certain plane, you can ask, ndege inaondoka saa ngapi? Ndege inaondoka saa ngapi? What time does the flight leave? So now you've learned the essential airport vocabulary and you can recognize the signs and understand some announcements. So in the next lesson, we shall learn how to navigate your journey from the airport to the hotel. And since you've stayed with me this long, I've got a little bonus for you. Here's my free Swahili greetings and self-introduction guide. Find it in the description below. And I want to be completely honest with you. Watching this video was step 1. But the travelers who actually feel confident and prepared are the ones who take action on what they learn. Your free Swahili greetings and self-introduction kit is designed to bridge perfectly with everything we've covered today. Plus, it shows you exactly why having structured practice materials like our airport model worksheet, also available along it, makes all the difference between feeling prepared and feeling panicked. So, for more lessons also in this Traveler Survival Kit, worksheets and extra practice, you can join our learning community on Patreon or grab our ready-to-use resources on Payhip, and all these links are in the description below. So until next time, keep practicing these pronunciations and remember, you've got this. This is Swahili Talk Club saying, Kwaheri.